BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. Last month I posted a video on an interesting article by Windows Central where they looked at several concepts and ideas that Microsoft were originally designing to help make customizing the Start menu in Windows 10 a lot simpler and easier. Now I'll leave a link to that video in the description, and as mentioned, none of those ideas made it past the early development stages of Windows 10 and are not found in Windows 10 as we know it today. Now for the month of February, Windows Central has posted a follow-up article titled Microsoft's Plans to Merge Cortana and the Action Center on Windows 10, and this is in a series called Windows Unshipped. So I thought there were some interesting concepts that Microsoft were working on, and if you are interested, just to take a quick look at some screenshots and just do a summary by that post by Windows Central. Now, as many of you may know and can remember, a couple of years ago, around about 2017 and 2018, Microsoft were faced with a couple of issues and problems regarding the taskbar in Windows 10 because it was becoming too full and cramped. And that was with system buttons like the Task View, Cortana, Ink Workspace, My People, the Action Center, the Search, and so on. So because of this, Microsoft started working on ideas and concepts internally for how they could declutter the taskbar by simplifying it in Windows 10. So the first concept Microsoft were working on that was never shipped was a feature called Control Center. And just taking a look at a couple of screenshots provided by Windows Central, here we can see the early development stages of the Control Center, which was very early development stages without anybody actually knowing it, for the quick settings panel found in Windows 11. And basically this was to try help clean up the system tray in Windows 10 and move quick actions out of the Action Center. And as we can see from the screenshot, would be a dedicated menu for system functions and shortcuts. And the Control Center was, as mentioned, in the system tray. And you would have to click on this gear icon, which was the settings icon, which was there to indicate that it is for system and app shortcuts. So that was the first phase of the Control Center, basically a very early development stage of the Windows 11 Quick Settings panel as we know it today. Now another a feature for Control Center that Microsoft never rolled out to Windows 10, and just moving on to the next screenshot for the Control Center, was a feature called Windows at Home, which is very similar to the Google Home app for controlling your smart devices like smart speakers, security cameras, lighting, and so on, just to mention a couple of examples. So here we can see by the screenshot provided, Control Center, basically Windows at Home to control smart devices. And then just heading to the third and final screenshot. This was where they were trying to merge Cortana and the Action Center into one menu. And if we just zoom in here a little bit, just to give you a better idea, they were working on a new version of the Action Center that was powered by Cortana. And instead of having Cortana on the taskbar as its own separate basically app and entity, Cortana and the Notification Center would become one and would be accessible from the far right of the taskbar, as we can see from the screenshot provided. So that was merged where Microsoft were trying to merge Cortana and the Action Center into one unit, basically to launch from the system tray. And yeah, we can also see in this screenshot that little gear icon, as I was mentioning, to launch the Control Center. So that's just another screenshot just showing you a kind of a wider perspective of that Control Center. So that was the Cortana and Action Center being merged, the Microsoft at Home, and then the early development stages of the Control Center. And then just to mention one or two, there's no screenshots for these, but just to mention these, according to that article, other ideas Microsoft were working on for cleaning up the system tray for the taskbar, where they were trying to simplify the date and time flyout to just show the time by default, or giving the user the option and showing the date and time next to each other. So that was just something else they were also working on. So that's the second series of Windows Unshipped by Windows Central. And if you would like a more in-depth read on that article, I'll leave a link to that original post in the description. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.